what we're here for. If it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't mean that there are not other things that we should do in our life that are very fulfilling. Lord knows, I love culture, I love my faith, my family, my friends. There are many things we should do that's not about dollars or cents. But career, business, technology, we are doing it for that, for creating value, for capturing value. So that's what I'm going to spend 5 minutes talking about to really jazz us up before we get into the working part of it, because we want to remember why we are working. First of all, can everybody hear me? I just want to make sure that I'm getting some signals across. Okay, wonderful. So let me tell you a little bit about what's awesome. Let me tell you about Lola. First of all, her events are outstanding. So I met her here in Houston at an event that she hosted. Her company, her team, Exequi. The guests were world class. There were founders speaking from um, Canada. There were experts here. People flew in from Europe, from Africa, from Nigeria, and it was a paid event, and it was worth every dollar. So for Lola to be doing something for 3 hours workshop with key deliverables, takeaways, actions, and that was free, I didn't understand, and we'll come back to that a little bit. But who's Lola? This Lola that's good to talk to, and she won't do it. That's why I have to do it. She's gone to Stanford Business School. She's been the CEO of one of the biggest venture capital groups, portfolio groups in Nigeria, actually globally. That's really not fair to say Nigeria at all. It's a global company. She's the only person I personally know that's there's a term we use for migrating from Nigeria. It's called Jackpa. Who migrated and brought their job. We came here to look for a job. Lola came and brought job, built the business of that portfolio company, of that venture company here in the US. In turn, drove investments into other founders, into other companies. I should have added that as a portfolio company, it means that not only was she the CEO of that company, she was de facto, like let's say, the mentor or even fractional COO to their portfolios. So Lola has seen businesses of all stripes and types and geography, and that's who you're dealing with. And this is just the surface. I might add, what else might I add? Still now, she's part of other venture capital groups. Venture groups means working with other founders at different stages of their businesses. She seems to be all over the world. I didn't know that she was in Chicago, to be honest. I thought she was in Nigeria. I thought she was in Houston. Then I learned she's in Chicago. We see people are here from Houston, from Canada. I think she has presence there as well. Um, she's also one group I didn't even know. She's part of the Chief Network. These are the women executives that I know, women executives, C-level, that they're like applying to be in chief. They're, and she is, and it's not cheap either. It's I think it can be $10,000 a year to be in that group, and it's still selective to get in there. So that's who we have here that wants to talk to you for 3 hours for free on a Saturday. I don't know how that's happening. So really, truly, I'll just be honest. I begged Lola and I did that they shouldn't do this for free. It doesn't make sense. Um, and not because like I do believe in giving, and that's what we're here for. But at the same time, we do have to lead by example. And while we are all in our businesses and professions capturing value, like making money for our companies, we also have to make money for ourselves, and we have to show everyone, ourselves and those who are on this call, how to do it. And we have to show it by doing it. So I'm like, okay, hey, if we're going to give value, we should be capturing value, and we should be showing you exactly how to do that. So to that end, they did put together an offer at my insistence. I helped a little bit. We put together an offer that says, okay, hey, here's how we're going to show you how to capture value beyond this call. Like this call itself, as Adi has said in the thread, $1,000 value by itself. But how can you be the one in that position where you're delivering value and capturing value? they've put together a bundle of a bunch of things that I think is tremendously valuable. That's going to show exactly that. So I'll talk a little bit about that more as we go through this. Maybe in the middle they'll bring me back in, if you guys will let me. I don't know. We might get too excited about what we're doing, and then maybe at the end as well, I'll talk more about that. But for right now, the thing I wanted to say is, don't play with Lola. We're very privileged to have her here. Lola, thank you for doing this thing with us. And also, I leave you all with this: if it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense. I want to make sure it's hearing is landing. So if you're in the chats, answer me, fill in the gap. If it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make, somebody should answer me. Uh-huh. And so while we're at it, and speaking about the Fostr membership drive, I invited a couple of people, also named Ola, by the way, and someone named Charles. If you guys are here, it would mean a world to me just to shout out, give a thumbs up, or even drop it in the chat that you are here. And everybody, yes, please bring more people to Fostr. Community is where it's at, and I'll talk more about that too. Again, if you guys will let me have another few minutes. So that's my time. I dropped my LinkedIn here. Follow me there if you want, and I'll hand off to my Oga, Madame Lola.
So Lola, real quick, Ola, do you want us to drop the link to the bundle, or do you want us to hold and?
No, let's make sure the people who are really ready for it are really ready for it. You know, awesome. It's not for everybody. It's like let's go through it. By the time we put it out there, then it'll be like, okay, that's what the people that are ready for it will get it.
Okay? Yes, boss. Over to you, Lola. Thank you, Lola.
Okay, I don't even know where to start. Thank you so much for that, Ola. I'm like, are you talking about me or somebody else? Thank you so much. I feel so privileged and honored to be here. I met Adi less than a year ago, and we just connected from our very first conversation. And so I feel really, really privileged to be talking to you guys. I know we don't have, it seems like we have a lot of time, but every time I've run these sessions, time actually moved pretty quickly. And so I know we're about 20 minutes in now, and I'm going to try to move very fast. Before we get started, just to get a sense of all the people here, could you just drop, if it's okay, but you could just drop like what you do, like your current title and where you work, or if you don't work or whatever. I just want to get a sense of the types of corporate professionals that we have and the skill set that that most people have in the room. That will really help us as we move forward. 1 second there. Where's my slide? So if you could please just drop very quickly in the chat. I'd love to see where you work and your title, or whatever that is, just to get a quick sense of where we are in the room. Okay, I see. Oh wow. Oh my God, I don't even feel like I'm qualified to be having this conversation. Are you sure we shouldn't switch up? Like there's Microsoft, they're like Salesforce, like, oh my God, this is like, but exciting stuff. Okay, I'll go right into it. Our topic today is to stop building. You've missed the first 3 steps. And can everybody see my screen though? Can everybody see my screen?
Oh, there it is. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That took a second. Yeah. So today we're talking about stop building. And I say this a lot to a lot of people. And I'll talk a little bit more about myself and what I do shortly. But I particularly love this topic because most of us in corporate, we feel we have the instinct. The first thing we want to do when we have an idea is to build. And what I've seen in my experience of over 17, 18 years is like, that's not the first step. You've missed the very first step when it comes to actually turning your ideas into a viable business. So I like to start my workshops by saying this. Everything I'm going to tell you today is a lie, okay? And I put it in quote because the moment I say those things, your brain is going to register it as, that's a lie. That's not true. I've done this. I've done that. I've done that. And I don't want you to believe everything I'm going to say. Instead, I want you to do 3 things. Just 3 things that are most important as we go through this session. 1, I want you to be very curious. right? I want you to lean in with a lot of curiosity because I'm dealing with super smart people and I'm very conscious of that. You have to be very, very curious. So everything I say, most of the things I say, your brain is going to say, that's not true. That's a lie. Okay, that's okay. But I want you to lean in with curiosity. The second thing I want you to do is to investigate. Just leading with that curiosity and go investigate, right? And then the third thing, which is the most important thing, is that I want you to form your own opinions, right? Not the opinions of what I'm going to give you or not what I'm going to say. I want you to go through these 3 steps and then form your own opinions. And the reason why I say this is this. There's no crystal ball in the startup world. Nobody can predict if an idea is going to be successful or not. There's so many moving variables. There's so many different things that change at different times. What those of us that have been in the industry for a very long time and that, we've kind of gone through the steps over and over and over again, what we know is that there is a pattern. And if I follow through, as closely as possible, my chances of success drastically increases, right? And that's why you see that some first-time founders are not able to, some first-time successful founders are not able to replicate their success. It's not because they didn't get a good idea or they didn't learn. It's also because the market varies, the market changes. There's nothing static in the startup world. And that's why when I talk to founders, I always tell them, lean in with curiosity. That's extremely important. Lean in with curiosity, investigate everything, and then form your own opinions. And then hold those opinions flexibly, which means that you're constantly in this circle of curiosity, investigating, and forming opinions. You're curious, you investigate, you form opinions. You're curious, you investigate, you form opinions. Don't take anything anybody tells you, including myself, as the Bible. And you might seem contradictory to what they're expecting, but trust me, this is the fundamental rule. The things I'm going to give you, you're going to get frameworks, you're going to try different things, but I want you to lean into everything with curiosity. Today, we have a work tool that we're going to use. Everybody should have gotten access. If you haven't, please check your email from Azra. Azra Statman should have sent you an email with a link to get into the workspace. If you haven't, please let me know, or you can just go to, I'll drop a link in the chat, and then you can serve from there. Please, if you have your links, please just thumbs up or something so that I'll know that I have everybody's attention. Thumbs up if you have your links. Thank you, Larry. I see that. If you have your links, please go to the email that you registered with, and you should have an email from Azra. It shouldn't also be in your junk. It should actually just be right there. So, okay. If you don't, you can self-serve here. Maybe you registered after we did the email poll. We can go to the link. I've dropped a link in the chat. Please register, and then you get access to your workbook. It should send you an email, and then the email should give you a link to get into the workspace. Okay. Moving on, a little bit about myself. I'll not spend a lot of time here. My name is Lola. I'm the chief venture builder at Exequi. I have about 17 years building ventures from $0 to $1 million businesses across the world, literally. 20 plus ventures launched in the last 2 to 3 years for corporate professionals that are zoning in on corporate professionals that are transitioning into tech entrepreneurship. I'm a Kellogg Chicago Innovation Fellow. I'm an angel investor. I mentor at different accelerators. And one of the favorite things I'm doing right now is I'm building Azra, which is supposed to be the first personal strategy partner with a unique personality. And many of you are going to be interacting with Azra today. And what does Exequi do? We are an all-in-one venture studio that works with corporate professionals, and we take them from idea to launch business. Our primary focus is idea to post revenue. Like, you still have your day job, you're still thinking about the idea. We take it, from wherever it is, you keep your day job, and then we move, make sure that you get to post revenue before you make any decision around your job. Okay. The skills that will make you great, that will make you a great operator. So this is the first thing I'm going to say, which is the hard truth, or your brain might register it as a lie. The skills that made you a great operator, and just looking through, all the people that we have on the call, the skills that made you a great operator are not the skills 0 to 1 rewards. This is a fact. Now, I work with a lot of professionals that are moving into startup world. And the first 3 months of working together, they are fighting this because they've been very successful on their jobs. They've ran $1 million budgets. They fixed massive problems. They've worked with applications that host 20 million users at once. They're really good at their job. And so when we come back and we say, that doesn't work, it's always like, no, trust me, I've done this. And I always say, yeah, I'll CEO of a $100 million business. I understand what corporate world really is. And I also understand what 0 to 1 means, because before that business became a $100 million business, it was actually just zero. And I was there from zero all the way down there. So I understand the transition, and I understand how those skills play out. So the first thing you have to be very curious about is these skills I have that make me a very successful operator today, that has made me, just this professional that everybody respects. Are they going to reward me, or do I need to reskill? One, you're trained to execute against well-defined problems, which is the core of all of this. You have well-defined problems, you have existing customers, you have existing distribution. It's really hard work, right? But it's a different type of hard work. 0 to 1 is just a different beast. It's also a beast like the one you have currently, but this is just a completely different beast. And you have to remember that. So the skills that make you a great operator are not the skills 0 to 1 are going to reward. Please, I'm using this to make sure that everybody can get into their workspace. If you cannot get into your workspace yet, please just let me know in the chat. Now, the second truth is scaling is not found in. Two different things. If you worked in large companies and large organizations, the first thing you're going to realize is that, number one, your customers already exist. You're not looking for your first customer, which is a completely different role. The distribution channels already exist. The brand opens the door. All you have to say is Meta, Facebook, Google. It's still difficult. I'm not saying that it automatically opens the door, but trust me, it already does like 60% of the work. The problem is framed for you already, right? And you scale what works. There's already a lot of templates. There's already a lot of work that has been done. When you're going to start your own company or take your own idea to market, you need to find the first human being that is going to pay. I love what Ola said. If there's no money, you have nothing. If nobody has paid anything, you have absolutely nothing, right? And so you need to find the first human that is going to pay. And believe me, that can be very difficult and at the same time, very humbling and satisfying. So finding that first human. And when you find the first human, the next is how do I get this first? And how do I get the next 10? And how do I get the first 100? It just keeps going on like that. And believe me, it can be tasking. You might think the first human, okay, I've built it, it's perfect, everything is there, and then you're looking for the first person to pay, and nobody is there to pay. The second thing is that you are the distribution. And nobody knows you, right? Nobody's going to answer your email. Nobody cares. I was speaking to a founder recently, one of our clients. So he came by the office and, was talking about another product that he had tried to launch for a long time. He had spent a lot of time building it. It's an HR tech product. And then beautiful product, I saw it, it works. And it's super smart. He's also an engineer. And I was like, oh, he made this statement. He goes like, I built it and nobody cares. And I was looking at it like, of course, nobody cares. It's not because the problem is not there, but I could literally feel it. I was like, yeah, that's the world of a startup, right? In the corporate, you build the problem, you have a sales team, you have all those things, people take it out. Now you build this awesome product and you think people are going to come. The market does not care. Does not care about you. Your friends and family love you, so they will test it. Friend of a friend, but the market doesn't care about you. Zero. Nobody's going to respond to your email, right? And then if you frame it wrong, it could cost you a year. I love what Ade said as well. You spent a lot of time building, right? Without actually just going back and saying, oh, who is going to pay for this? So the first thing you have to really think about is who is going to pay for this. You first discover what works in public. Now, I spend a lot of time talking about this because as corporate professionals, we have an identity, right? I am this. I'm senior director, this engineering. And my brand is so important to me, right? On LinkedIn, I just don't go posting random things. Everybody respects me as a certain type of person. Now, I can't afford to fail publicly. And this is where the biggest challenge is for most people because you're likely to fail and you're likely to fail publicly. However, for me, it's a rite of passage. That's what it is.
Is anybody else resonating with what Lola is saying? I've been nodding my head the whole time, and I haven't stopped nodding. I never stopped. Sorry, Lola, to interrupt, but I mean everything she's just saying, every second of it. Yeah,
it
okay.
is. It
Yeah,
is.
okay.
Trust me.
I know it was just me. All right, thank you.
Like, in fact, because of this particular one, we're launching a course soon with another of my partners in the UK to really focus on founder mindset. Because you see, this public thing is the biggest challenge that most corporate professionals have. People that have been entrepreneurs all their lives or they've tried entrepreneurship before, they don't have a problem with this. But you see, this feeling in public is the biggest challenge. How do you embrace it? How do you come to a place where what defines you is no longer your title? It's no longer chief engineer, but it's like, I mean, like you can make it sound funky. I'm a founder and I'm an entrepreneur, but really it's like somebody's going to use your app. It's not going to work. They're going to call you in the middle of the night, all of those things. And it's really, really, really difficult. But remember, reframe it. It's a rite of passage. Every single person, every single successful entrepreneur in the world has been embarrassed. They felt shame. They've wanted to quit. Every single one of them. They've delivered products that did not work. Every single one of them, including the big companies that we see today, the Metas, all of them. At some point, those founders felt shame. They all felt shame and lean into it because it's a rite of passage. Okay, I hope everybody's got their workspace now. This is my last slide before we go into it. Behavior beats idea quality. This is the biggest part of it. 10 minutes. Research has shown, we work very closely with Validator AI. 10 minutes. You have 10 minutes. Most times, and immediately after this workshop, I want to emphasize it. Every single thing we go ahead to do, I want us to pay attention to in 10 minutes. You have 10 minutes. The action you take within 10 minutes, always 10x triples, whatever action you take later. So don't delay. You get inspired by something, do it immediately. A name drops in your mind, take the action immediately. Data shows you have 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, it begins to drop. Your momentum drops. And that's why speed is extremely important in the startup world. Because again, it's like you're racing against the tides, right? So the moment you have that surge of energy, you run. You don't wait for 1 ounce of it to drop. You run immediately. This is secret. Secret number 1. Number 2, you need to obsess about the problem, not your idea. Your ideas are good. They're brilliant. You love them. Forget about your idea. Go back and understand the problem. And we're going to spend a little bit of time on our problem statement today. The problem is the biggest thing. If you obsess over the problem, you are going to be successful. If you keep your focus on your idea or your solution, your chances of success drastically drops down. Don't think about your idea. Don't think about your solution. Think only about the problem. What is the problem that I am solving? The more I focus on the problem, the more I see that my idea can evolve and can become whatever it is that I want it to be. And then the last thing is idea quality barely predicts execution. But more importantly, on this one is your idea is worthless. That's the truth. I know a lot of, GCs, they don't even sign NDAs. Me, I still sign NDA because I'm like, okay, whatever. But your idea is worthless. Value is extracted from your idea through execution. That's it. It's only through execution that value is extracted from your idea. So your idea is worthless. If you've not done anything about it, it's worthless. Please tell everybody. In fact, I tell everybody, go and tell the whole world about your idea. Don't make anybody sign any NDA. Go and tell everybody about your idea. It is useless. It is worthless. It only becomes valuable through execution. And you cannot execute by yourself. You need people. So the more you can get quality people in, the better for you. Don't, please. If come and meet me, I'll sign NDA. That's why we have a whole NDA template because I respect people's opinions. But I also tell them that the idea is worthless. Value is only extracted through the execution of that idea. Don't forget that. Okay, so AI has made it building free. It doesn't make validation free. Now we're getting into the crux of the matter. It is even way easier now. Go on Claude, build whatever you want to build is easy. But building has never, ever, ever, ever been easier, right? But then the principle has not changed. It doesn't make validation free, or it doesn't mean that you have to skip validation. Validation is still as important as it has always been, right? It is no longer, I want to build a perfect product. Nobody cares. Everybody can build a perfect product right now. Everybody at a way cheaper rate. But right now, I still really need to validate. And that's what we're here to do today. So there are three things, the three steps that we're going to take. I hope everybody has access to their workspaces now. Please, if you have access to your workspace, Larry said I just summarized your whole situation. Let's stop. Yeah, if you don't have access to your workspace, please do a thumbs up or something. Everybody needs to get into their workspaces now so that we can start, we can get into the workshop proper. So we're going to go through three steps. The first is your founder idea fit. We're going to run your idea through Azure, and she's going to produce a founder brief for you. Azure is in beta right now. We've been using it. Over 250 corporate professionals have used it now, still in beta. And what we're doing with Azure is we're trying to build this personalized AI strategy partner that understands your startup, understands what you're doing, has his own personality. So I'm not feeding it whatever, has his own personality and is able to train himself over a long period of time around what it takes to successfully transition from being a corporate professional to being a tech startup founder, because it's so nuanced. And most people don't talk about that. Most accelerators, incubators, all of those things, they don't talk about the nuances that a corporate professional faces. For instance, this identity thing, it's such a big thing. Trust me, it's such a big, big thing. For most people don't face it. But once you're like 15 years into your career, it's formed who you are. It's really difficult to take that in there. So I try to kind of like really work with you through that. And then we're going to go to the early adopter discovery, and then we're going to go to our distribution reality before we build our first landing page. Okay, what we're going to leave with is a founder brief from Azure, three real humans named as our early adopters, and we're going to send messages to them, a problem statement in the customer's own words, not in our words, and at least one outreach message and a minimalist live landing page. Just very, very basic stuff. Okay. Let's get right into it. I'm going to share my screen now to show what you should be seeing if you are in your workspace. Okay.
I think we're still seeing your slides, Lola.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
Okay. Yes. So this is what you should see if you've gotten into your workspace. We have 4 steps. The first one is the founder idea fit. There are different ways we can do this. We can, and I'll suggest, I think we can do that. Break everybody into groups of 3. Is that okay? So that people feel more intimate. Yeah. and then I'll just go through each of the different rooms. And if it's okay to keep the rooms the same, so when we come back, they go back to the same room. When we come, they go back to the same room. Is that okay?
Yes, I can do that. So room
Okay.
of, I think we're at 31 right now. So I'll
Yeah.
create 11 rooms. So
Or
two or three.
maybe,
Or what do
okay,
you think?
yeah, with three. I think three is fine. Three to
It's fine.
five maximum. Yeah.
Okay.
3 to 5 maximum, so that everybody has quality time together.
Sounds good. Okay. And do you want me to open up the rooms right now?
Yes.
Okay. So when do you expect people to come back to the main stuff? In 10
In
minutes?
about 30 minutes. Yeah. Yeah, no, no, yeah, in about 20 minutes, actually, everybody should be back.
Okay.
Are we going to be automatically pulled back into the larger group?
Can you repeat that again?
Yeah, I was asking if we're going to be automatically pulled back into the larger room.
Yes, I believe so. Yes, I will do. I will ensure that. Okay. Okay, for folks that are just joining us, we're going into breakout rooms. So I'll probably would be assigning some folks. Let's see, room 9. Let's see, Sandra, I believe I can assign you to room 9. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Wow. Hey guys, I think we wanted to bring everyone back and then go over the instruction one more time and then put for books back into the breakout rooms. Okay.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'll run through the instructions just one more time so that it's clear. Um, do we have everybody back?
In about 14 seconds.
Okay. 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 Apologies, everyone. But I'll quickly run through the instructions and what we're gonna do. And I'm also going to, kind of move through each room as well. So if anybody has any questions, I'll come into your room, and I can help as well. But let me quickly run through what it is that we're going to do today. If you're in your workspace, everybody should be in their workspace already. If you have any challenges, please just drop it in the chat and I'll look at it. And this is the first page. It's just basically all the things that we've been talking about before. You can read up about this just to say, okay, what are the things that Azra is going to do for you and what are the things that you have to do? So this is just basically knowledge. Now, this is the first part of the workshop. What is the idea that you have that you want to talk to Azra about? So you fill that up in here. How long have you been thinking about it? And then if you've not started, why you have not started. And then you're going to click on this. Obviously, I've used this a few times. You click on this, most of us, we should have stats chatting with Azra. And then just click on that and a new page opens up. Now, this is the work we have to do right now. We're going to have a conversation with Azra, and it takes about 10 to 15 minutes. We do it on a back and forth. And sometimes Azra is not nice. So Azra is not like ChatGPT or that we say, oh, that's a good idea. No, she's probably going to go and be like, that doesn't make any sense, make me understand better. It's going to zone you into thinking, really, really, really thinking about what you're going to do. So for the next 10 to 15 minutes, you really need to zone in and think because it's going to ask you really, really hard questions. And then when we're done with that, we're going to come back together. If anybody has any questions, we take it and then we'll go back to the second step. Any questions?
So Lola, does it make sense? Because I know if we go into breakout rooms, I know it's more intimate. Does it make sense where we all do it together in this room and people can just come off mute, or do you want us to go to the breakout rooms? Either is fine with me, but which would you prefer?
I found out that the breakout rooms work more effectively for people because then you have one person that you can talk to and bounce ideas off, or two people that you can bounce ideas off versus just kind of like sitting down doing it by yourself.
Awesome.
So we just found that to be more effective. However, I'm flexible.
No, that's fine. So we go, folks. Anybody? I think Allah has his hand up. Allah.
Yeah, just in this particular time, though, we're not actually doing anything in the breakout room. This is still independent work, right? But eventually we'll do group work.
Yeah. So talking to Azra, believe me, you're going to have conversations. It's going to ask you some questions. I'm going to be like, oh, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And so we've had that in other events that we've run where we've actually seen people just need somebody else to just bounce that off.
Okay, perfectly clear.
Awesome.
Okay, more hands
fantastic. So Lola, also while you're go ahead, Felicia. I think Lola, I made you the host. So you should be able to set up those breakout rooms now. I think it kind of, took that right from me. So yeah, feel free to do that while Felicia, please jump right in.
Yeah, my question is similar to what Ola just asked because Ryan and I were in the same group before we got pulled back in. So just wanted to be clear that we're still working on our individual ideas and we can bounce ideas if we have questions of each other.
Yes. Yes, it's just that collaboration. We found that intimate, just having somebody there that you can quickly say, oh, what do you think about this? Oh, I'm not sure about this. Or, just having that is also part of the peer-to-peer advisory or mentoring that you're going to need as you go into your founder journey. Okay?
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, so it's going to be 10 to 15 minutes. We're going to open up the
Yeah.
breakout rooms now. The idea is to, again, it's individual work, but obviously now you have 2 or 3 people within your breakout rooms that you can actually bounce ideas off. And then in the next 10 to 15 minutes, we'll bring folks back on here and we'll continue the rest of the workshop. Go ahead, Jackie.
So quick one, in the workspace, should we have already clicked the start in the
That,
workspace?
that'll be correct.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay. So we have about 2, 3 people in most groups. So I'm just going to go ahead and open our. Okay.
Awesome. Have fun, all.
Yeah.
What room do I get into? And if I have that option myself.
Oh, you were unassigned.
No,
Sorry.
that's fine. No, that's fine.
Okay, so you can just.
No, it's fine. At least if that's because really, I think that's the best thing. That way I can, as people are coming in, I can
Yeah.
obviously let them know where we are in the process.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And so
Okay.
you can jump in and out, and I can
Of each
continue
of the
to make this.
different ones.
Mhm.
Okay. All
Hopefully, you
right.
can do that with the host option now. So let me know if
Yes, I see it. So I'll just go across each of the different rooms and talk to you.
awesome. All right,
I
let me
see
talk
some
to
people haven't joined any groups though. I don't know
yeah.
if they're not assigned or yeah.
So D, Dami, Takuma, and Efren. Yeah, I think some are beginning to go. So
Hey, bro, how's it going?
Mr. Dami, what's going on, brother?
I'm good. For some reason, the folks in my room are not responding.
Responding? Okay.
Yeah,
Let's see if we can put you in a new room.
all right,
Let's see. Give me a second. Let me talk to Lola because she has the host privilege now.
no problem.
Let me ping her real quick. Dami, she's not responding to me now, but I just say just continue to walk through your piece of it, and then I'm sure folks are gonna come back to this main room soon. Just FYI.
All right, no doubt. Could you send me the link to that workspace? I didn't join
Give me,
early enough when she was sending it.
gotcha. Give me a second. It's within the chat room. Let me see. Oh, so all of a sudden, by losing my, do you see the chat feature?
Let me see.
Because for some reason I just lost access once okay, I see it now. So it's, yeah, the chat feature to the right of it. So just click on chat.
Yeah,
Do you see Lola's last email? It's 1, 2, 3. It's the fourth email from the bottom down.
I
Um,
feel like
it's
I feel like
thefounderpilot.com/events, that one.
I feel like I lost it because when I joined the
one. Okay, let me repaste it now. You
breakout
see
room.
now? I just pasted it again.
Yep,
If not, you see it?
I got it.
Okay, cool. See that
Got
works.
it. Thanks, boss. Take care.
No worries.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're getting everybody back.
And this Astra is not smiling at all. Oh.
She's not nice. I tried. I tried to make her nice, but
She's
she's
not even giving me credit. Like she's really like, oh no. Love it, love it, love it.
okay. I think we got most people back. All right. One thing that has in common to most people, to all the rooms and everybody that chatted with Azra is like, she's mean. But she's not mean. She's the sweetest, she's the best. But this is one thing we've discovered. Like I said, over 250 people have used it already. And one of the things I have realized is that Azra reacts to the idea the way the market is going to react to it. I said it to everybody that talked about it. The market is not going to care. The market is not going to be nice to you. The market is going to demand what the market demands from you. Right. And so I tell people that staying in that conversation actually prepares you for what you want to go and meet outside. Right. Because that's exactly how the market is going to work. You say your friends, your families, your colleagues, they're all going to be super nice to you, but that stranger is not going to care. It's just going to say, why? Why should I pay $5 for this? That's exactly how the market is going to react. And so for me, this is like if you go through this process and you stress test it, you will be you will be ready. But more importantly, is I hope is asking really intelligent questions, questions that you haven't asked yourself or that you haven't really sat down to really think about, which is what we're doing today. Okay, like I said, time runs very, very quickly, and we try to finish this session before 3 hours. We're going to go to step 2 now, and then we're going to take a break where Ola is going to come back and, spend some 10 minutes with us. We just kind of like stretch and all of that, and then we go to step 3 and step 4 very quickly. Before we go to step 2, does anybody have any questions? I know I tried to go through every room and answer every question, but any other questions, any other thoughts?
Yeah, so as we're chatting, do we just stop or will it stop by itself?
It's going to stop by itself, but it has 5 frameworks, and I thank you for that question. It has 5 frameworks that is operating through. So it's going to take you through the first framework, the second framework. You don't know that that's what it's doing, but it's been trained to walk through, 5 different frameworks. It's like step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. And then at the end, it kind of like wraps it up. And typically a conversation lasts about 15 minutes if you're kind of like, just fast and can answer the questions. But for some people, it goes on up to 30 minutes because they're like, why are you asking me? What I usually suggest is that if you don't know, just say, oh, I don't know the answer to this. Don't try to prove anything to her. Just say, I don't know. And then she can make suggestions back, wrap up that session, and then move to the next one. Okay. One of the things that we're trying to introduce is also maybe show some sort of like meter that shows, okay, now you've completed first one, so that people have an idea of how long it works. We had it in the alpha version, and then we took it out because it impacted the UI. I wanted to keep it simple, but I'm sharing all of our own failures with you because this is startup world, right? So I'm being open and honest. The first version was completely different. This is a beta version. And so we take feedback as you guys are using that well. I'm taking all the feedback, and maybe we might return that bar, the progress bar there, so that it just gives you a sense of how things happen. Okay, if you do not, everybody has access to this workspace for the next 7 days. So if you don't finish anything, that's okay. You can always come back to it. And you have access to Azure as well for the next 7 days while it's free. After 7 days, you have to probably move on to the paid version, but you will have that. And if you feel like, okay, you know what, I'm done, you can also prompt her to generate your brief for you. But you have this for the next 7 days to work through stuff. Okay, now we're going to go through step 2 right now. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to go to step 2, and then I'm going to quickly just share any other questions before we go on. Does anybody else have any questions? Anything I haven't answered? Anything? Okay. No.
I'm sorry. Hi, I have a sort of a question. Yeah, I have a question. My name
Okay.
is Chen, and
Hi.
hi. Great job, first of all, with what you're doing. A lot of people are struggling to start, so great job. One of the things we were talking about in our group is how does this help support people who are kind of a little bit far along in their journey to quickly get at least to a really good spot? Because one of the things that we kind of experienced earlier while we started is there was like this resistance a little bit because I've done so much work already. So it's like I'm starting all over again. So I'm like, do I want to do all of this anymore from the start? So I think that is where there was a bit of a friction. It's like, what does that journey look like for someone who is far along or who's just stuck somewhere, basically?
I really like that answer. And one of the things that you can do is that when you're talking to Azra, you can just say, "Oh, I've done this, I've done this, I've done this." I was just going to ask you the questions. Now, if I'm going to answer that question, I will say make the mental shift and go back, because you're going to come back to this if you haven't done this. You're going to do this in some shape or form if you've already built and if you've not gotten to post revenue. So if you don't have a customer today that has actually paid for your product, even if it's big, whatever, but you don't have anybody that has paid for your product, you're going to come back here. You're going to do this at some point. If you wonder, so if you can make that mental shift and say, did I do the thorough work of going through this process first? And if I didn't, okay, I'm going to pause where I am right now and I'm going to do this. What I've seen happen, again, nobody has a crystal ball. Some people get away with it, but I think, I don't know, 99% of people do not. They always come back. They build the product, it's perfect, it's working, nobody's using it. Or maybe their friends and family are using it, but it just cannot move. They just get stuck. And I have clients that have spent hundreds of thousands, literally. I have clients in the UK that spent about £100,000 on building the idea, not one single customer. They were on it for over 2 years, not one single customer. We have to start all over with them. Okay? Did I attempt to answer your question?
Yes, that's a really great answer. I think it's majorly stress testing what we've already done so far and making sure there's clear
Exactly.
validation. Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. Thank you very much.
So we're moving on very quickly. Validate yourself before the idea. So again, back to Jackie, I see your hand. Do you have a question? Yeah.
Yes, I do. So from my end, I don't even know if I'll beat at step 2 because it's just this chick I think already generated a report for me, which is kind of strange. I mean, I was still chatting and she just began analyzing and sent a report. So I don't know if anybody else has seen that.
Yeah. Did you prompt her that you wanted the conversation to pause, or did you pause conversation, anything at all?
No, not
Okay.
at all.
Okay. So somebody had mentioned to me that they couldn't get their brief. So right now I was talking to the developer to look at it. I was wondering if they did that auto run, but no problem at all. You can continue the chat. She has a lot of context of what you're saying, and so she's going to be able to do that. Okay?
Because I don't see the button that says resume the chat or something like that.
You can just go back to step 1 and resume with Azure. Or check your email. You can also do back and forth with Azure on your email. So she's going to send you an email with a brief, and you can also just continue the conversation via email with her.
Okay, because I don't see that button that says, even in step 1, I don't see the button that says resume with Azure, nothing.
No, on step 1. If you go back to step 1, you see it on the screen. On your workshop page.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Should be down there. I see it right here. Okay. We can look at it. You can share your screen when we go back into the breakout session, and I'll help with that.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. So validate yourself before the idea. The common trap, the flip. The common trap is for you to not think about, if you're the right person to build this, not to do your market research sometimes, but The founder idea fit is extremely important, which is part of the things that we're getting Azure to do. And one question I always ask people is, can you write 5,000 posts about this problem? Can you write 5,000 posts about the problem, not your idea, not the solution that they have in mind? Can you write 5,000 blog posts? Like, you literally can sit down and talk about this problem for so long that you can literally write 5,000 posts about it. That is the single test of being the right founder for an idea. If you cannot, it means that you don't understand the problem enough. And you should invest more time before you build understanding the problem. Go and sit with the people that are actually experiencing the problem. Forget about your solution, forget about your idea. Immerse yourself in the problem. So you feel like, you know what, if I'm waking up at 1 a.m. in the morning, I can talk about the problem, not your idea, the problem that you're trying to solve. Okay? Now we're going to step 2, which is the early adopter discovery, right? Now this is where it also gets more interesting. We need to find the human. Here we're going to name 3 real humans: the customer, through the industry eye, and then the one who will say no, right? Those are the 3 real humans that we're going to attempt to name. We're going to get to the point where we're literally going to put their names out, like, on this. And I like to call them early adopters because they're also very dynamic people. They don't seek perfection. They're okay with, things breaking. They just feel the pain so much, they will do anything to take it away. Those are your early adopters. They don't, okay, my logo is blue, is red, they don't care. They don't care about your logo. They just feel this pain so much, they will do anything to take it away. Those are your early adopters, and those are the only people you care about. You don't care about the person who thinks that, my logo is not going to be, I work with founders every day that they spend 3 weeks designing their website and designing their logo and changing from light blue to orange blue. Like, your early adopters do not care that your logo is blue or red. They don't care. They just want a solution to their problem. That said, we're all people of excellence, so you should make the best efforts to do what is really, really good and presentable, right? But don't obsess over that. Obsess over the problem and how you can connect with that person. So we're going to go back to our breakout rooms again. I'm going to open our rooms. Now we're going to step 2. So step 2, okay, let me share my screen so that everybody knows what we're doing in step 2.
Sorry, hi. I just have a very quick question, and I apologize.
Okay. Yeah.
So I filled out step 1, and I started talking to Astra, to the chatbot. Now it looks like it's crafting a 30-day plan. Is that something it's supposed to do before we get to step 2?
Yeah, it is. It's part of what it is because it's giving you like a full brief. That's
okay,
what
good.
It's giving you. Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure if what the brief was after all the steps. Okay.
Yeah, and then from the brief that you get, you'll be able to find, answers to some things in step 2 and step 3 as well.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Thank you. Okay.
All right. Okay, so can everybody see my screen? I'm just going to quickly walk through what we should expect to see in step 2. Everybody should be in their workspaces. Now, what we're doing is our early adopter discovery. Like I said, the most important part of it is who feels this pain so much, they will do anything to make this pain go away. That is it. That is all we're doing in this step. And we have to slice the customer. The very first one, and there is no perfect answer here. I mentor our Founders Institute, and one of the things that we realize is like 99.5% of founders, the first description of their customer is always vague. So if your first description comes and it is, all corporate professionals that are, in tech in North America, that's fine. That's your first slice of it. But then you're going to go further and then you're going to do a second slice. You're going to try to make it as crisp and as niche as possible. And so you would have it such that you can literally say, again, remember, this is for your early adopters. We're not talking about what the large market is going to be. You can make it so crisp and say, something like product managers in, tech companies with employees less than 50 that manage 5 employees. Like it has to be as crisp as possible. Okay? So the first time you do it is very likely to be broad, and that's very okay. Then you slice it further. You slice it to the point where it literally hits the bullseye. Like it's so precise that you can put a person's name. I can say this is Adekunle Ayodele. Like I can literally put a name. That is when I know that I have, confirmed with my ICPs. It cannot be general. It cannot be, copyright. It has to be the slice that I need it to be. After that, we're going to slice test it with stress tested with AI. You're going to get this prompt. You can copy the prompt or you can use your own prompt, and then you can go to ChatGPT or to Claude. I prefer using Claude. Copy the prompt and let it generate answers for you. And then you get the answer to why your idea is going to fail. Okay? This is tough, but we need to do this. Why is this going to fail? And you're going to literally type out the 3 reasons why this idea is going to fail. And you're going to stay in that. You're going to stay in it for a few minutes, right? Just like literally look at your idea failing and have a reason why it's going to do that. I encourage people not to come up with that by yourself. I usually would encourage that, use Claude or use ChatGPT or whatever you're used to, and prompt it to tell you what it thinks, what your idea is going to fail. You can also go back to Azure and ask her to do that for you. So you're skeptical. This is the prompt we usually would use. Like you're a skeptical early stage investor who has seen 1,000 pitches. I'm going to describe my business idea. Your job is to find the 3 reasons to fail, and then you take it on from there. The third thing you're going to do here is also, again, the prompts are there. You just copy them and push them in so that you can move faster. You need to find where these customers gather, like where exactly are they? Where can I find them? Where can I meet them? So you again copy the prompt and take it there. And then you need to learn their language. How exactly are they complaining about this thing, this problem that they have? How do they talk about it? Not your words. Remember, the bulk of the work that we're doing today is you're removing yourself. You're not the most important thing here. If your startup is going to be successful, you are not the most important person. Nobody cares about you. Nobody likes you. The market does not give a crap about you at all. And so what you have to do is to separate yourself. What do you say? You're not? Okay. I didn't hear what you said. Okay. What you have to do is...
Sorry, I'm joking. I'm probably
sorry. Okay. Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah. What you have to do is to completely separate yourself. And that's what this exercise is about. You want to take yourself away from the problem and you really want to zone in on the customers that you're going to serve. And you begin to reframe the problem statement in their words, not your own words. And then you pick some of the codes again. Claude will help you with this, ChatGPT will help you with this as well. And then the last thing we're going to do here is we're going to name the actual humans. You can go on LinkedIn, you can find them on Reddit. You're going to put in a name here, and you're going to say, okay, this is the one person that I know. This is the 3 named humans. This is one person. The person's name is Ola Adedoyin. I'm literally going to put it there like, this is the person. I know this person has this problem. This person has said they have this problem this way, and I'm going to try to reach out to them. and then pick the one you are actually going after immediately. Like you put their names there. Now there's a button here that says kill this idea. And one of the things I always do during this session is like you can end this session killing this idea. And believe you me, you've made the best decision. Right, because you've saved yourself 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, and thousands of dollars. It might seem like a failure, but believe you me, it's a huge success because now you've learned. You've learned on your own terms and you've learned, what you need to do. Then you can go back and go find a different idea. So this kill this idea button is there at every single point in time. If you're not able to go through this rigor, maybe your idea is not good enough. And we're trying to replicate here or to replicate here exactly how the market is going to react or the vigor that it has to do. Any questions before we get into the breakout rooms?
How many minutes is the next breakout room for?
15, 20 minutes, we should be done.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. Should I get in? Everybody good? Any questions? We good? Okay. Back in. Any problems? Anybody wanting to join their rooms?
That's fair.
Hey, thanks for hopping on. We're currently in our breakout session. Folks should be hopping back to this bridge in less than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Actually, you ate me up.
We did it last time. Yeah, coach told me not to come late. Coach said so. So I need to make sure we don't go late today.
Do you
You
want
say what?
do you want to put Chen on mute? It's like, don't go reveal your account number to us, Chen.
Yeah, over to you, Ade. Yeah.
No, I think it's just been fun just talking to Ashra, to be honest with you. But I'll pass the ball to Ola, and then we can do a quick mid session check-in, and then we'll go back to you, Lola. Ola.
Right.
Hey, can anybody hear me? I feel like I was on mute or something just now.
Yep, we can hear you.
All right. So this is going to be like relaxation time, right? Astra, this is not Astra, beating up on our ideas time. In fact, I'll call it a little bit of a story time. Again, I remember the subject of or the theme of my talk here, or my role, which is if it doesn't make money or if it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense. But first, I'd like to humanize things a little bit and say, a bit of the power of network. Obviously, we're here because of the network of Fostr, and Fostr is very powerful. But I'm not sure that we're all realizing that, to be honest. A lot of times we're in these groups, or let me say in this group, what am I doing here? I'm on WhatsApp. What am I getting out of it? It's my personal mission to make us get value out of it. And that means more money than we put in. More money and more, whatever time we invest, more returns on our time. That's my personal mission. I don't have a lot of time. Speaking of which, so my background is software engineering. I was a director at Verizon. I left to start up a business. For 5 years, I was doing enterprise B2B sales. I didn't know when I started the business that I was going to be a salesperson. I was an engineer all my life, all my career. The problem was my co-founder was also technical. So now in Nigeria, we say the blind man, they follow blind man go. The blind person following the other blind person. Little did I know, I became the salesperson. As part of that salesperson role, I had to be on the road. I found out very quickly that nobody's taking my call, nobody's taking my email, because I'm not director of engineering at Verizon anymore. It was a shocker. These are all things that Lola was talking about earlier. It was a shocker. And all people that I still have good relationship with, but they just don't have time. They have other priorities. Their boss is rating them to take Deloitte's call, an IBM call, not Ola Consulting. And so I had to find my customers where they were. That means literally go to every single tech conference in the space. My space at the time was Internet of Things, digital transformation around those sets of technologies. So, wherever those conferences are, wherever those events were, I had to go there. The problem is I'm an introvert. If you leave me to myself, I will be in my house from January 1st to December 31st. Except to go to the gym, to go to running, to go to swimming. And a week can pass Monday to Friday or Monday through Sunday. A week can pass, I didn't talk to a person, apart from job. Because I'm talking all day, working with customers, partners, such like. After that, I don't talk to anybody. I'll go to the gym. So anyway, I'm an introvert. Point was, I realized that early on, and I realized that I had to sell this thing. This was pre-COVID, especially. Working remotely was not as, Zoom call, where you can build a lot more rapport with people, was not as common. In order for me to get myself out of the house, people, literally, I closed my lease. I did not renew my lease. And then I lived in an Airbnb for like a year, or in different Airbnbs. Because if I go to a city that I have to book a hotel or room or Airbnb, then I will go to the conference, right? It's not in my house anymore. So for a year, I spent time traveling all over the US, Chicago, everywhere, East Coast, West Coast, Gulf Coast, living at different Airbnbs. Along the way, as much as possible, I would drive, and I lived in cities that most of you have never even bothered to stop by. Selma, Montgomery, Alabama, Biloxi, Mississippi. Long story is, in those travels, I met people. Like, I wasn't traveling on a corporate card anymore. I was traveling with my personal expense card, which means, it's cheaper. And so wherever I met people like us, African allies, to use a term that Ade has introduced me to, could be African American, Caribbean people, I was able to find what I needed in the town, in the city, whatever there may be, food, shopping, gym, exercise, whatever, because of a network of people like that. So now I didn't have the top tier experience of using my corporate card to stay in DoubleTree or Hilton, but having a network gave me a big advantage, because now I met people locally in the city. I learned where they were doing developer meetups, and I've hired a lot of people that way doing, when we did win deals, I was able to hire people much, much more affordably, because I wasn't hiring people from San Francisco or New York all the time. I was hiring people from Nashville, so all that to say is network is important. Now that's a very general network. Here we are more specialized. We have people from big tech, from technology, sales, marketing, product, design. So that makes us even more powerful. So the secret of how, and this is, I'll end now in a second. I know Lola is back here to rush me off. But what is the secret to capturing value with networks that are specialized, that are expert? Not just like I said, I travel around the country. There are people I met in different ways, but here we are all experts. I forget the word Lola used, advanced or elite. I'm not sure the word she used. The secret, there are two secrets. The first secret is give, give, give. I think people think they know what that means, and they might even be rolling their eyes that, okay, who has time to be doing things all the time for people? A lot of times when you said, I don't have time to do things for a lot of people, ask yourself what that means. Literally liking a post, liking stuff on WhatsApp, that's giving. Engaging in the community. Literally, when someone types something in the community, you said, me too, that happened to me as well. Or something happened to you, you yourself share it. So the giving that we're talking about is not that give your Saturday every Saturday like this. This one that you're doing right now is actually for you to get. You're not giving as far as this event is concerned. Lola is giving, Ade is giving. But here we're getting. But when it's time for you to give, it means engage, like, follow, comments, just give. Giving is a way to touch people. In marketing and in sales, we talk about you have to touch people so many times, get in contact with them before they ever consider you for whatever, not just for sales, but for promotions, for partnerships, for donations, for investments, and so when you're not ready to call them directly and make a sales pitch, every time you give, you're touching them, you're giving you're giving value, and you're being aware to them. You must give. Obviously there are other ways to be visible to people, and one of the ways is posting on LinkedIn and sharing publicly as well. These are the things that Lola said early. Can you write 5,000 posts about the thing that you just wrote? Well, that's what you need to do. So before we leave this call today, a few of the resources that we'll have here is about Fostr, how to take Fostr to the next level. We'll talk about how to take this thing that Lola is talking about today to the next level. Today, it's all about challenging and stress testing and knowing our plan. Lola's next level of it is executing that plan, further stress testing it for that matter, as well as, here I am evangelizing about posting publicly. So there's resources around all these things that you are going to get by the time we finish this call, that will put you in a position to be like, people are hearing you, and people are you're able to influence them to translate your ideas, your expertise into value. That means into money, which is the second secret. So the first secret was the power of network. The second secret, translate into money. What that means, bluntly, guys, is have an offer. Like, have an offer that says, if I want to talk to, I'm just going to pick somebody that I'm seeing here, Folu Shaw. If I want to buy an offer from Folu Shaw today, is there one out there for anything? Is it for advice, for consulting, for software, and you might think, I'm not ready, I'm not, or it's cheesy, or it might not even be worth it for you. Like, okay, why should I book a time for any amount of money? I only deal in thousands. You are or millions. You are a millionaire, excuse me. But there's a very powerful discipline in saying, I have an offer, and this offer is worth something. You have to be honest to yourself before you say that, and if you are not honest with you, your customers will be honest back with you, or the market will be. So there's a very powerful lesson in that, having an offer. So these are the two things, as you're networking, as you are giving in your network, have an offer. I don't want to spend time. I've spent already way too much time. But normally I would ask on this call right now and think about it. Don't answer, but how many of you have an offer? You're all super duper extreme experts. I know that for a fact. In fact, my group, my breakout was just amazing, guys. I'm not sure they have an offer. I think I know one does. I'm not sure if the other one does. You know yourselves. We are friends, so you know have an offer. That's my second secret. And with that, I will hand off to Lola. And at the end of this call, we will absolutely have an offer for you. We will be holding myself to the fire. Putting my money where my mouth is, and stress testing whether I can present an offer to you that is worth your time. And that's just the way of being honest with you, and a way of being honest with our own time, and giving value and capturing value in return. So I'll leave that with you guys. I'll leave that with you, Lola.
Thank you so much. That's a good break. From Azure. It's good to think about something else. And I quickly grabbed some coffee myself. Yeah, I hope everybody's getting value. We have about 45 minutes to the set time for this. Again, like Ola said, there's an offer at the end that we're going to push out. Again, the goal, like you rightly said, is, hey, you have all this knowledge, you've done all of this work. How do you take it to the next level? And that offer is going to come at the end of it. Now, I'm going to go. Again, we have 45 minutes. I need to say this very importantly. Everybody has access to the workspace for the next 7 days. So as we move through, you might not finish. I know most people did not finish their step 2. It requires us to think and all of that stuff. So you have access to the workspace. I encourage you to please go back later. Remember, one of the things I talked about, you have 10 minutes. Immediately after this, don't go do anything. Take a break, come back, sit down with it, and get it done. If not, you're not going to get back to it. But if your dreams, your desire to become a tech entrepreneur is really burning right now, don't wait. It's a Saturday, cancel that plan to go out. It's just one time to go out. Cancel it, sit down with it, and get it done. Moving forward. It's very important so that you don't lose momentum. Okay, that said, I'm going to quickly run us through. Yeah, we're going to go to step 3 and then step 4. Okay, I have everyone answer my screen. Okay, now what we just finished right now is to try to name the human. And by the way, I do not, neither Azra does not tell me anything about your ideas with the greater, blah, blah, blah. None of that happens. My personal opinion is that ideas, they're just ideas, they're one in info. However, we respect everybody's opinions and personal preferences. And I want to just put it out there that I don't know. All the chats that I have in Azra is all encrypted. I don't know anything about it, except of course we see that, or you tell me directly. So all the information I have put into all of these workspaces, they're all encrypted and we don't know anything about it. Okay. Just to quickly mention that. Now, distribution reality is where we are. I hope everybody can see my screen. Until one human commits to a call, a trial, a payment, you have a project. You do not have a business. Until somebody makes a payment, until you actually get that alert, until an action is taken, you do not have a business. And it progresses, right? A call, somebody agrees to make a call. So at the end of stage 2, you should have had 3 humans. And I keep saying humans. Even if you are doing a B2B, there is a human in there that is going to make that decision. So that person cannot be head of project management or director of sales services. What is the name of the director of sales services at Meta or at whatever company it is? It must have a name. You're dealing with humans, even if it is B2B. Don't forget that. Humans. So we want to make sure that we know who those humans are. And until that particular person actually makes that call or does that trial or makes a payment or actually gives you something that is concrete and binding, you still have a project. You don't have a business. No matter how big the application you built is, you don't have anything. It's just a project. Now, say the problem in their words, right? So if you've completed step 2, you should by now know that, okay, this is exactly how my a customer is thinking, this is where I can find them, all of that. So the commitment, by the time we close, you would have sent at least one real message with this problem. This is the bar that we're trying to get to. The real problem statement, a real problem statement. And I know I'm talking to like product managers and, everybody that has described problem statements before. In this case, I wanted to, again, go in with a lot of curiosity, try to make sure that it has these 7 elements. 1, context. 2, who. 3, the root cause. 4, the emotional impact. 5 is quantifiable impact, alternatives, and why the alternatives fail. There are not a lot of things that are new under the sun. There's your idea today, people are solving that problem in some way. The question is, how are they solving it? Those are the alternatives. And sometimes the alternatives are not as great. And many investors will tell you that they prefer better mousetraps. So somebody's already doing it and then you want to do it better. That for them is a safer investment. Because really, if something is a pain, think about it. If something is indeed a pain, people will find a way to solve it. It might not be the best way, but if it's indeed a pain, imagine it's a Saturday, in Chicago, I don't know where everybody else is. In Chicago right now, it's slightly windy, it's sunny, it's a beautiful Saturday. I want to sit down and watch, Good Blood, so I of my favorite series. Right. But if I get a headache, the only thing that will get me out of bed right now is if I get a headache and I have to go to the pharmacy. Like if the headache continues to be so bad, I'm going to get up and go to the pharmacy and get it. But if it's like, oh, maybe I'm chatting somewhere and somebody says, oh, you need to take a vitamin D, and they list out all the benefits of taking vitamin D, and all that, I'm not going to leave my bed on a beautiful, sunny Saturday and go to the pharmacy. I am not. There is nobody, no matter how. Oh, I'll be like, oh my God, that's so true. I need vitamin D. Or, I would talk about all the great things. But the truth is, I'm not going to get out of my bed and go get that vitamin in the pharmacy. I am not going to. I know I need it. I know it is required. I know that it's the reason why, I get up cranky every morning. I know. But I don't feel the pain so much so that it's going to make me move. And that is the problem. You need to be able to state your problem statement in a way that it makes your customer on a beautiful, sunny Saturday afternoon when they've had a really long week, leave whatever they're doing, go straight to the pharmacy and go buy a product. And if they cannot, or you hear, oh my God, that's a great idea. You know the way vitamins are now. Who doesn't know that vitamins are important? There's nobody that doesn't know that, right? Like, I can list out all the benefits. In fact, they will tell you, like, oh, the reason why your skin is this, or the reason why you're always tired is this. You will never. You pick up your multivitamins when you're already in the pharmacy. You're already there. So, oh, yeah, that's true. Somebody said I live, and then you pick it. And that's also, if you have the additional cash, to even pay for it. Most times it's just like, hey, I know I need it. Yeah, it's good. And then you go for all these conferences and then you're excited. And you as a founder, like, oh, everybody loves my product. No, nobody's going to pay for it. How do you frame your problem statement in such a way that it is clear what that pain is, and you turn what typically would be a vitamin to a pain? That is why this is important. That said, we're going to the last page. This is also going to be pretty fast. I'm going to share my screen now just so that we see what it is that we are going to do in step 3. Yes, good. So we're in step 3. We compose the problems in their words as much as possible. You need to try to compose their words, the words in their own specific words. The people that you've spoken to. So while you're doing step 2, if you did any of those charts with Clora, if you did any searches, through Reddit or whatever, try as much as possible to feel this, not the way you are experiencing the problem, but the way maybe somebody has spoken to you before or through the research you did in step 2, exactly how they're feeling those things in plain words. Like don't try to, no corporate speak, No big English, simple words. Okay? Who exactly has this problem? What is actually broken? How it feels to live with it? What it costs them in time, money, outcomes, what they have already tried. Right? This for me is the most important thing because if somebody has not tried something, it's probably not a pain. That's the truth. Like if I get a leg pain today, I'm going to try. I'm going to do something. Maybe it's even just getting up and walking. I'm going to do something. That is a pain, right? So they must have tried something for it to be a pain. So you want to know precisely what it is that they've tried and why every one of those things are falling short. Now, this is and this is a prompt that you can also copy in and then use to send. But if you sorry. A prompt to sharpen it. So if you go through all of this here, your problem statement should automatically populate, as you're typing all of those things. If it doesn't come out the exact way, it's a new feature that we just released. It does come out the exact way. We're training the AI to be able to compose that for you in a very, very crisp way. If it doesn't come out perfect, that's okay. Keep on refining it until you get something perfect. And you can just do it by yourself. But again, it should have all of those different elements. But that should happen here. And then after that, you should have who you are sending it to, and then the draft. Again, we're not going to spend a lot of time here because we have about 30 minutes to be done. I think I have 15 minutes before Ola and Ade take over. So we're just going to go into the breakout room, spend some 5-10 minutes going through this. Again, we all have access to the workspace and we'll be able to get it done after. So I'm going to pull everybody. Any questions before we go into the workspace? Any questions? Everybody clear? Okay, so we're going to go right in 10 minutes and we'll be right back. Okay. I think we'll just give about 2 more minutes. We have 30 minutes to the hour. Like I said at the beginning, it looks like 3 hours is a long time, but it runs by so quickly. um, yeah, but I do hope that at least we can get to the last page. In about 15 minutes, we're going to wrap up this session, and then I'm going to hand over to Adi and Ola for the closing, so that as much as possible we can end within the hour, and we're being respectful of everybody's time. Thank you once again to everyone for joining. I know that it's a Saturday, and I do hope that it's been worth everybody's time and the commitment that we've put into it already. And remember, I keep saying this, at some point you might decide to kill the idea, and that might be the best decision you ever made. So feel free on that. The last thing now, just quick summary. The first thing we talked about was, am I the right person to even build this? So this is a great idea, but am I really the right person to be building it? And if I am I asking the right questions? And Azure has helped us to do a lot of that work. All of you should have a brief now. If you haven't, again, it's okay. You can always go back. Like I said, you can chat with Azra via email. Just send a message, she'll reply. She has a lot of context. As long as you keep on using the same email, she has a lot of context around like the sessions, the ideas that you've discussed with her. And so you can keep it back and forth via email. Or you can go back into the chat with her, and she's able to continue to do that with you. The second thing we talked about was like, I need to focus on my customers. Now I need to really find who is going to pay me for this. Who is that person? Where does that person stay? How much is this person going to really? I need to focus on that. And for me to be able to do that successfully, I need to be able to describe who this person is, right? I need to be able to really describe who this person is. And I need to separate myself. So first of all, I'm like, okay, maybe I'm the best person to be able to solve this. But the second thing is like, I need to separate myself from the idea that I have and really live and become the person that has that problem. So that process of separation, it can also be very, very hard for most founders to separate themselves, but you need to go through that process. You need to begin to see, in this case, your baby grow without you, by first looking at the problem, detaching yourself from the idea, and really zoning in on who those customers are. And then the distribution reality is, where do I find these people? Where exactly are they? How am I going to talk to them? How am I going to reach out to them? What's the message that I need to send out to them? That becomes, and again, in all of this, we haven't built anything. Okay? We haven't written any line of code. We haven't done anything at all. So before you find that developer, don't do any of these things. Go through these exercises fast. Do the brain work fast before you write any line of code. And so the last thing that we're going to try to do in the next 2-3 minutes is to build out the landing page. Now, the page is an experiment, and this is the most important part. It's just an experiment. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be anything. We have a workshop template. You should find the link in the workspace as well. It's a simple, lovable template. Just click on it. It's shareable. Click on it. Also generate most of this data, and it's going to give you a prompt that you just paste in lovable. All you're doing, you have not even built anything. Don't build anything. Let's just get a page out there. Now, the page has to do 3 things. 1 behavior, 1 button, 1 page, 1 call to action. Kill everything else. If you have like 3, 4, 5, 6 offerings, 1 thing. Now, the best products, they serve 1 customer, they have 1 revenue stream, they have 1 product, they know precisely the 1 problem that they are solving, and they have 1 killer feature. That's it at the start. That's it. Nothing like you're trying to do for 50 people. Oh, there's 0 sales, 0. Everything has to be 1. And your landing page should be very, very simple. 1 behavior, 1 button, 1 page. It should be very, very clear. And it should have 5 blocks: your headline, your problem, your promise, your proof of or premise, and then the ask. The ask should be very, very simple. Very, very simple. Tell me about your problem. That might be the only ask you have on your webpage. Or, I don't really like join the waitlist, but it's the one that most people do. Join the waitlist, email me, but you can come up with very creative ones like, tell me about your problem, or let me buy you coffee or something like that, just something creative that gets people connected, because what you want here is for them to talk to you. Now, so we're just going to quickly, very, very quickly, now I'm going to also get us into the breakout, or maybe we won't go into the breakout rooms again this time around. I guess we'll just try to do it here, so that we save up on some time. I'm going to share my screen. Share. Okay, so this is what the step 4 is like, right? Your headline, the problem block, your promise, why they should believe it. And again, you can use Claude for all of this, especially if you keep it to one chart, where you've been talking about like all these different things. You should be able to generate those things for you, or you can write it. Make sure it's as specific as possible. The join can be, again, this is the most common one, join the wait list. But like I said, there are lots of, I see a lot of people are already asking for access. Just click on it. You should be able to also get access to that. It's a simple template. You can just easily copy and paste it and then auto populate it. You can run a prompt. You can ask Azra to run this prompt for you, or you can use any of the Claude or ChatGPT as well to be able to do that. And then you should have a simple workspace, a simple Lovable. I prefer Lovable. Some people don't use Lovable. I think Lovable works easily. You can actually just do it with Claude Code as well, if you want, but I have loved, I work easily with Lovable. Lovable used to have the challenge of discoverability before. So people that build their apps and websites using Lovable couldn't get the SC and AUs, again, a completely different much that there, but they fixed that. And Lovable is not paying me. I'm not a partner. I just love good products when I see them. And I think Lovable builds that pretty well. So I'll just take 2 minutes for everybody to kind of like go through that. And then we should be wrapping up. Let me just show you exactly what you should be seeing in Lovable. Okay. Okay. Okay, so this is what you should have, something very simple. This is what that template should look like. Again, add your colors, add your logo, copy the prompts, and Lovable will kind of like make it all look nice for you. But this is just a very, very simple template. Your headline in your customer's words, one subline, describe the pin. With us, you will. I am this. Many people are not comfortable with this because we're all corporate professionals. I understand we talk about like the identity challenges. I can tell you guys about, like, I had this client, we started working with her. Again, high profile consulting, top 3 consulting companies, all of that stuff. And she's also done a lot of like product management work and all of that. And then we started building, but she did not want her name anywhere. She just felt like, no, I don't want my name. I don't want my name. I know this is big and everything. And we kept on telling her, like, especially in this AI world, people want authenticity. Like, they want to connect with whoever the founder is, especially at the start. And I do understand that some people have like work-related challenges and everything, but the goal here was like, she's like, no. And so when we were building out our website, we used like our initials and all of that. Anyway, going, she launches after 6 months to get her first customers. As she begins to grow, 3 months in, I just go on Instagram one day and I see a video and she's the one guy and I'm like, what happened? She's actually right there making her videos and like and do that. And so she went from like I don't want anybody to know that I'm the one behind this. All to the point where she's like, oh my God, if I don't stay in front of this thing's not going to move. And I thought I'm going to bring on my podcast to talk about that identity shift that she had to make and how she had to bring herself forward. But I know, again, like I said, this is one of the biggest challenges that most of the founders that we work with have, where they don't want to be the face, they don't want to be known. They're just like, let me just stay back, and all of that. But it's important that you stay ahead of your product. Well, if you don't do it now, you do it sometime later, like that our client did. But seeing her video that day was one of the most exciting things. I just screamed like, oh my god, she posted, because for me that was like that's a moment of fulfillment. That for me was like, okay, now she's really, really ready to become an entrepreneur. And a few months after that, obviously, her product has picked up a lot, and she's quit her job, and she's just focused on it solely. So if you don't feel comfortable with your name and all of that here, there are a lot of different ways that this can be done. We can talk about that. And then, and then it just happens. So something as simple as this is what that should look like. Okay, now we're quarter to the hour, and I'm going to be wrapping up. I hope we've gotten a lot of value from the last 2.5 hours that we spent together. And I'm just going to wrap up now. Just need to share the right screen. Yeah. Okay. So the page is an experiment. Don't forget, it's not your product. Don't put anything inside. Don't focus on it, get it done, and then email it to the right people, and let's start getting feedback. Start making a lot of noise around it. What most founders take 3 months to do is what we try to do in 3 hours. I know it's a lot. A lot was loaded in. That's why we give you 7 days access to this to continue to use it. Ola will talk a little bit more about, extended use and all of that later. But you've pressure tested, you've named real early adopters, whether you're building for a B2B or a B2C, you need to put a name. You need to put a name, a precise name and contact information. You wrote your outreach in your language. Hopefully you sent out at least one message and you should be live one. The next 72 hours matter more than today. What you do today, tonight, tomorrow, Monday, it matters, right? What you do matters. So tonight you have access to the workspace, send out those messages. If you haven't sent out those messages, you have to get your URL up and send out that message. Begin to track your reply. Lovable as analytics. Check out who's visiting your page. Check out how people are doing. If you already have like an Instagram, LinkedIn, Instagram or LinkedIn or X or whatever, post it there. Just see how people are reacting. That's what you want. You want to get real, honest reaction to how they're thinking about it, and pick up your phone, call. Oh, did you see this? What do you think about it? Like, begin. That's the first step before you even write any line of code. By Sunday, see where your signals are landing, right? So said yes, they want to have a chat from the text messages that you sent out today, or maybe it's Monday, set up those calls and begin to have it. If you get absolute silence, it also is feedback. This is where I like to wrap up. If everything you get is silence, it's feedback. It means 2 things. Kill it. Just kill it. Just get the idea right there. Just kill it. Or you need to pivot. You need to reiterate. Because the market is always speaking. The market is always speaking. Whether we listen or not, it's important. If you get strong signal, 2 or 3 people said yes, go in deeper. Immediately you are eating onto something. If it's mixed signals, try and reframe. Check out the headlines, go back to Azure, go back to work, and do the work again. If it's all silence, you send it to your best friend, and even your best friend doesn't say, oh, wow, please just kill it. Just save yourself all the trouble and kill it. Remember, if you kill the idea, it's a win. Okay, we're reframing it. If you kill it early, it's a win. A year of your life is more than the discomfort of being wrong. Okay, so I think Ola, I'll hand over to you now.
Awesome. I've been having some network issues. Am I clear and visible at this point?
Yeah.
I don't know if am I on the camera? Yes. Okay. Lola, confirm for me one more time. Okay, Jasmine, I see the thumbs up. All right. Thank you guys so much. My one and only disagreement with Lola today is that she said, I hope you have gotten value, something, something, something. There's nothing to hope. You have gotten, all of you on this call today, I am telling you, if you don't know, I'm telling you, and I know you know, you've gotten value today. Tremendous insights in terms of how to do this validation, why to do the validation, specific tools for it, specific actions. If that's not value, I don't know what is. On top of that, the value of this community cannot be understated. You probably will not sit down on your Saturday afternoon and be doing this thing. But thanks to the community, you are here doing it and getting the value. So tremendous kudos to Lola and to, I have to say, it's Ade, even though I know it's a whole team behind Ade. And you members, us members of Fostr, are also part of building Fostr, but I just want to give a special recognition to Ade for making this thing happen for us. So thank you for the value, Lola. Now the question is, what do we do next? Lola said the next 72 hours is the most important thing. Guess what? The next right this moment is the most important thing, like right now. So I want to give you an action that you can take right now. And you can really know that you are on the way. Like, momentum is off to the start. With that, I will share, if this thing will let me do that. I'll make sure I am able to do that. Share. Just making sure that everybody's with me. One more time, remember what's the theme of the day? If it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make, give me something. Type, emoji. If it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make, I don't want to be talking to myself, or is it only Lala that we listen to? Thank you.
But you have
That's
to
good.
complete the.
It doesn't make sense. Thank you. I appreciate you guys so much. It means a lot to me. I'm out here on a limb, by the way. Like I don't. This is my first time doing this with you guys. I'm here to try to deliver value and try to help you get value. This was just literally yesterday was a day that Ade and Lola said, "Hey, let's try this thing." So you guys are supporting me as much as I'm supporting you. So thank you for that. The thing I want to just really pitch to you here, and I'll call it what it is an offer and it's a pitch, is Fostr Premium. And what you're going to get in addition to Fostr Premium today and today only. Now, I want you to take the step because it's a two-way street. Obviously, you're going to contribute to Fostr by your membership, but you're going to contribute to yourself because once you commit to something financially, you will be more invested in it. This is why it's my personal mission that we have to pay each other. It's my personal mission that we have to create offers so that we can say that, hey, I am on the hook, or Fostr is on the hook to deliver this value to you, but you yourself become on the hook to realize the value for yourself. So the Fostr Premium membership is the one that I really want you all to consider today. I'm a premium member, and I didn't get a special deal that you all are about to get today. And many people are premium members today. I think some of these stats are in our Fostr Hub and the wonderful tool that Ade has put in there to see how many premium and so forth. Many people are premium members getting the value without the additional things that I'm going to share today. I'll tell you personally what are the points that are very valuable to me. First of all, just stepping back to all the things you get in Fostr Plus, it's a no-brainer. You should be in Fostr Plus because of the special groups that are not special groups, but access to dedicated groups, let's call that. Fostr Work, Fostr Build, Fostr Rolodex. Many times I had an interview with OpenAI 2 months ago. OpenAI reached out to me, partly because of what I do, which is AI thought leadership. But I could go into Rolodex. I could find out who is adjacent. Unfortunately, I didn't find NVIDIA today. Frank from NVIDIA, I think. I didn't find him that time. But I saw people that were very helpful to me along the way. All that to say is the Rolodex, the Fostr Build, Lola is in there. She's given a few nuggets in there a couple times. I'm in there sometimes. So those additional specialized communities, they're worth so much more than you think. Yeah, Essential Group is fantastic, by the way. Those of us who are in Essential, that's how come we're here. So it's tremendously valuable. Fostr Plus gives you all these additional channels, groups. And then coming to the Fostr Premium, which is what I really want you to consider today. The discounted, not discounted, but access to events alone make it worth it. In the last 1 year, they had Afrotech, some tickets for Afrotech, some tickets for Blackest Tech, some tickets for Diaspora Africa Conference. These are the ones I personally know about, and I was personally there. Some of them I talked, so it wasn't like I got the ticket from them, but I know that Fostr was there representing through their membership. There was another one that I was on, the Leadership Conference. I forget what it was called. It was a very big one, very great one. Actually, they came all the way from Atlanta for it here in Houston. So me, I've personally been to 2 or 3 events thanks to the Fostr membership. So if not for any other reason, the Fostr Premium is worth it just for that alone, right? For $250 a year, that's the price of one of those conferences. And again, once you commit, you start investing in yourself. You start finding ways to get value out of these things. So please consider that for yourself. Today, for about the same amount of money, you get a few more things. And that's what I'm going to get into. I'll talk about where Lola left off, okay? Lola talked about all the actions that you can and should take today, and she talked about the validation steps. Now, she said everything she said because they're all true, and we do need to take action, and these are some signals you need to listen to when you take those actions. But the honest to goodness truth, and you will know this, what I'm about to say, is that it's never black and white. The honest to goodness truth is that, you maybe didn't give the right message at the right time, or maybe you don't have a great network, or you didn't reach the right person, and you want some more guidance. And that's what Lola's team is all about. So Lola has prepared a one-to-one 30-minute session that everything you have done today, you can debrief with her. She could really give you a insight into where to go from there. 30 minutes one-to-one with her. Imagine that. And imagine how generous she is to offer that. If everybody took that offer now, how many of us are here? Ade, how many people are in the bridge right now?
Right now, we're about 24.
You guys are the champions. You guys are the ones that are like, yes, I'm serious, by the way. So I love that. I love that for us. I love everything that we're doing here today. However, which way we move forward, you guys have really been the real ones. Imagine 24 people take up Lola on that offer, right? That's 12 hours of our time. So this is for little to no additional money. In fact, I'll just say it now. It's a $300 bundle. Let me just say it now. So this is not for Lola to make money, or for me to make money, or for Ade to make money more than the value he's already delivering. So this is just continuing with what Fostr has to offer. You get that session with Lola, and I'll give a recap at the end. And then there's a next step, because Lola can take you all the way to your product is in the hands of the customer, and you're scaling, and your billboards and ads are digital ads, marketing, whatever, are in all the right channels, whatever your channels are, partner, digital, whatever they may be. She can take you all the way there. Beyond that discovery, that 30-minute session, one-to-one, there's another session that she goes much more detail, gives you a whole go-to-market plan, gives you a whole product strategy to meet that first customer of yours, and the second customer, and the early adopters to laggards, all the way to laggards. Like, what's the strategy to get there, and what's the milestones to look for, to revise and revisit, and so forth. That other program for her is $2,000, and these are all offers that are there. She has on her website. People are buying and using it. I met them personally when she came to her Houston event. I met the people some people who are in the program. That offer, she's discounted for 25% off. So that's a $500 off that offer. So keep in mind, this is all what you're getting for the $300. For that same $300 is the Fostr Premium membership. It's Lola's 30-minute one-to-one follow-up from this one, plus Lola's deep dive, $500 off that one. All details are there for you to learn more about. And then the last one that I will talk about here is this one. And I love the fact that my face is there because Lola was just saying how much we should be a little bit more outside of our comfort zones than we really think we should. And there's not that, thank you, Lola. There's not that much to it. People do want to hear from other people. And so for this offer, this is a mastermind session about posting on LinkedIn. Anybody who follows me on LinkedIn can see what I do there and see how that resonates with you or not. Keep in mind that the system works in LinkedIn for me. Yours will be different. And I don't want to get into it because it wouldn't be fair. That's not what we're here to do, for me to do any other demo. But know that this is a mastermind session. There are people who have bought it at $300 here in Fostr who use it very happily. In fact, I'm very proud to say they're even named. There are so many people named, executives across different industries, different levels. So check it out at your leisure. And that's in this bundle that I'm going to share the link here. So this whole bundle here is going to be available for the next 24 hours. You have a chance to take an action right now and to get going. In order to get to the finish line, you must start. Now, you may have already started, maybe you're halfway through the journey, but there's always a next step. And this is a next step that may help you. If you're going to do it, you might as well do it now. So we have made it available for the next 24 hours for only $300. You get everything I just mentioned, but there's still something else. This one is actually pretty cool. This one is through one of Ade's companies as well. Ade does so many things. And one of the ways he does so many things is by leveraging these same systems that we are talking about right now. So one of Ade's offerings is data box that does development and product and design and things like and delivery, let's say product delivery. For us, for this session, he's had his designers put on standby. He has professional designers. Yes, AI is great. You can work with AI and get great results. The designer working with AI can get even greater results. So Ade has a designer standing by to offer this one more here. Is everybody seeing my screen now? I'm about to close out here, guys. Just make sure you're with me.
Yes, we are.
Okay, yeah. So this is the last one here, custom design package. You guys can see, thank you, Jasmine. Jasmine, you're the MVP. You're the MVP. In fact, I'm going to give you extra special bonus from my own course offering components, whatever happens. Thank you, Jasmine. I hope we're connected. This applies to everybody, by the way, but Jasmine is a little bit extra special today. But everybody here, please connect with me. I'm here and I feel I'm speaking for Lola and Ade. Offer aside, we are here to push each other. When I push you, you push me. And everybody, they have lots of great stories about that in this group. So please, reach out across the board. Jasmine, I would like to connect with you. For custom design package that Ade is offering. You can see how Ade's background is so nice and crisp and professional. You can see that Fostr professionalism, that background. Ade has put it together for all his industries. So imagine he's talking to his customer. They don't forget who they're dealing with. Whether they're talking to Databox or Fostr or Mixel, these are all part of his empire. Some of you might know already, be part of. That background, the design background for you, for your brand. Ade's team here at Databox will put together for you. They'll also revise your LinkedIn banner, as well as revise your LinkedIn headshot or headshot for whatever. Again, AI does a great job. If you have not used AI to revamp all these things, you should just do it by yourself. By all means, get those things, get your LinkedIn headshot revamped. Just, hey, make it crispy, fresher, more professional, more sharp. It'll make your headshot nice. Do use AI, do it all by yourself. I think if you can take this opportunity right now to have someone like Ade who knows what he's doing, who has hired professional designers who know what they're doing, if you can have them do those things for you, the headshot, the LinkedIn banner, as well as the the Zoom background, the background for the Zoom, as a favor. They could probably also tell you how to set it up. Anyone could, I could, and I'm sure you can as well. But those are the offers that we have for you today, guys. It's $300. It's pretty much the cost of just joining Fostr as a premium member. Many of us have joined Fostr as a premium member without all this to offer. So I hope you take advantage of it. Again, remember, the reason why we're doing all this, just to be clear, is about getting value, meaning making revenue. These are how we're doing it. These are, and when you consider these offerings, you are going to be part of our network, and we're going to be part of your network. You think about all the other investments that you make across the board, externally, whatever courses, whatever degrees, whatever certificates you make. You have left that school. They don't care about you. The professor, you have never seen them again. Whatever, all those types of, certainly when we get the certificates, we're all highly certified people. You don't have a relationship with the certifying body. We will have relationships with each other. So that's why I want you to get these offers and, try and consider it and do it now. Don't wait till in fact, don't even wait till 24 hours. Literally do it now. If I would love for Ida to tell me who does it today. I would really, really, I just say very impressed by those who just click on it today, not even tomorrow. But whatever the case may be, get to it in the next 24 hours. Don't wait for, next week, next 2 weeks. Eventually you'll become a premium member because it's worth it, but just do it now while you can get this offer. That's my spiel. Thank you very much for putting up with me. You guys have been very kind.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. I know it's 5 minutes past. I promise you I'll only take the next 2 minutes, right? First of all, thank you all. Again, like Lola said, like Ola said, it's Saturday, the weather is great, and you guys stuck in here for 3 freaking hours on the Saturday. Trust me, I think we started with about 20, then we went over to 30, and we literally lost maybe what, 6, 7, 8 people for 3 good hours. At some point, I had to step away quickly, and I stepped back in. I was like, "Oh, okay, you guys are still here. The fact that you guys are still here means that Lola is doing a great job in delivering value, and it also means that you guys are vested in designing what's next, right? So I was kind of skeptical again when we said 3 hours. I was like, ugh, I don't know. But no, 3 hours, if you can wait behind for, again, 3 hours, trust me, I think you have what it takes to build your own business. You have what it takes to scale your own passion project, whatever that may be. You have it, honestly. Because if you can only wait for 30 minutes, trust me, I don't know what. You can as well just, go do something else. But the fact that you could stay for over 3 hours tells me you guys uh you guys are, yeah, onto something. So first of all, thank you for that. Lola, as always, literally, I think you and I connected on LinkedIn, and that's where it all started. And look at us, months in, making this happen. I believe Ola, same thing too, connected on LinkedIn. And these two folks have been, just amazing, amazing, amazing set of people. So I put the link to the offer that all I talked about. Again, for folks that are part of our premium membership, we don't need to resell anything to you all. You all understand the value. For folks that are considering, yes, we would strongly suggest that you do. There's just so much value in there. I think it's valued at over what, 1,400, and just for the next 24 hours. We'll bring that to $300, and you get a whole lot more out of that. And we'll be doing a whole lot more of this in the next few weeks. Like I said, for me, it's build, baby, build. I think I've benefited from this session personally. There's an idea that I was kind of toiling with, trying to figure out if this is right or wrong, or if this is right now. And I think for right now, what Astrid told me is, hey, okay, you need to do some extra work before you think of launching this. I think I'm going to hold back on that idea, and just listen to what the expert have said, and just focus on things that I'm already passionate about. So The link is on there. We probably would send also an email, probably once we're done here, to everyone that registered and everyone that joined, so you have access to the link too. Felicia, yes, I think I have a T-shirt for you. Felicia has been that supporting pillar of us from day one. Always appreciate his friendship. So you have a T-shirt waiting for you once we meet or when we meet. And you all, have a great, rest of your day. Don't forget to follow us on social media at We Are Foster. Don't forget to invite at least 5 of your friends. That's how we grow. I need to send out that 900 number by Tuesday. So if everyone here were to just invite 5 of your friends, we would get to 900. From 900, we'll be on our way to 1,500, and we'll be on our way to 3,000. Not just for the number, but just for the impact that we can make as we continue to grow. So happy Saturday. Thank you all so very much. And I'll talk to most of you very, very soon. Have a good one. Cheers. Bye.
Bye.